Hello all, this is Shreyash, Ramesh, Prabhu here with another video discussing about the whole Institute of Chartered Accountants election process. In today's video, we'll be discussing the most important question which everyone has, that is what is preferential voting all about. So in a normal election process, in a Lok Sabha election, we normally as a citizen, we go to the polling booth, we give a vote to our preferential candidate and we get the ink on our fingers and we come out of the polling booth. But in this case, it's completely different. In this case, when you all go to the polling booth, you all will be giving a list of candidates. So for example, in the Central Council members, currently there are 22 candidates who are contesting for the elections, out of which 11 candidates will be selected. Now when I go to the polling booth or when any CA member go to the polling booth, what they have to do is, whoever is the preferential candidate, let's assume in my case, my preferential voting is towards CA Prabhu Ramesha with ballot number 19. So in front of him, I will write the number 1. Now, if he is my first preference vote, I write the number 1. No other denomination like a cross or a tick mark or a circle will be allowed. Only a number has to be given, that is the first preference you are giving to that candidate. Now, let's assume there is another candidate who I think I will give my second preference. So, the next candidate in front of his name, I have to write number 2. Same way, I have to give the preference to all the 22 candidates as much as I want. I understand that you all might not be aware of all the 22 candidates and might not be able to give the preference to all 22 candidates, but I will advise and request each one to at least give first 10 to 15 preferences, so that now I'll come to the most important part as to why the preferential voting is very crucial and most interesting also. Now let's assume I have given my preference to 1 to 11 candidates. In first is CA Prabhu Ramesha, in number 2 is someone else, number 3 is Mr. A, number 4 is someone else. Now on the day of counting, now let's assume the whole polling is done, the election process is done. Now the point of counting comes. Now during the counting, there will be the first preference vote which will be counted first. So every candidate will get the first preference votes allotted to them. Now when the first preference is allotted to them, there will be all the 22 candidates who will get a number of first preference votes. Now there will be one candidate on the 22nd number who will have the least first preference vote. Because he's got the least number of preference vote, he will automatically be eliminated. Now, because he's eliminated, his votes will go waste, but not in this case. In this case, in the preferential voting, whoever, supposingly, I was the one who gave Mr. number 22 candidate as number 1 preference. And number 2 preference was CA Prabhu Ramesha. Because he was 22nd candidate, his first preference gets eliminated. Then, because he gets eliminated, my second preference vote was to CA Prabhu Ramesha. This vote will go directly to CA Prabhu Ramesha and will be counted in his votes. Similar way, process of elimination will keep on happening. There might be a case wherein I might have given my first preference vote to candidate number 20. Just an example, my candidate number 20. He is also eliminated. Now his second preference I had given it to candidate number 15 again, and my third preference was given to CA Prabhu Ramesha. Now, in this kind of case, what will happen is, by the course of elimination, firstly, number 20 will be eliminated. My second preference was to number 15 candidate. This vote will first go to number 15 candidate. Now, when the number 15 candidate comes, again he is eliminated. Because he gets eliminated, my third preference vote is to CA Prabhu Ramesha. That will be distributed to CA Prabhu Ramesha. With this, even if my preference candidate, my first preference candidate is not elected, my best preference candidate gets elected in the Central Council member. And that is why this preferential voting is utmost important. If you have any favorite candidate, do please go and vote for them. I have no problem. But do give your second preference, do give your third preference to some other members also, so that if supposingly your first preference is not elected, the second preference or third preference gets the vote of yours and they get elected in the council. So this is the whole preferential voting in a very broad way I've explained, and I hope you all have understood also. So please feel free to ask me any question regarding this part in the comment box below. I will be more than happy to answer you. Like this video, share this with all your other CA friends who are still unaware of the preferential voting, and definitely subscribe to the channel also. That will be more than helpful. And if you all have any queries or anything, please feel free to ask in the comment box below. With this, thank you so much, and I look forward to meet you all in the next video.